I would like to present the host of this webinar, Bill Blanchfield, the class of 1960 from RPI. We are so appreciative of his time, his talent, his treasure, and all that he does for RPI, as well as a bunch of other institutions and organizations around the area. So Bill Blanchfield, the president of the 50-year club, class of 1960, and he's actually here today. So I'm going to move the camera over to him.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. I guess I can't see you. You could see me. Anyway, as Corinne said, I'm Bill Blanchfield, class of 1960, an old alum, but I have been back to Rensselaer as often as I can. I don't live far away, only about 100 miles. And I am the president and the treasurer of the 50-year club. 50-year club is a tough club to get into. But we make concessions, even though your physics grades may not have been that high. But we have, to get into the 50-year club, you have to be out of Rensselaer 50 years. And to be on the board, we like you to be close enough so that you can come and enjoy our lunches, our meetings with faculty members, but especially to meet with the students who are so much fun. Not surprisingly, they're smart. They're funny, they're lively, they're self-deprecating for all of their really great abilities. They're just really good people. And they're very generous because they contribute a lot to the community. Now, the 50-year club, our major thing that we do is we meet 4 or 5 times a year, listen to a coach or a professor or whatever. We also give grants, that is money, to students who are participating in the community. This year, we expanded our reach a little bit. We gave grants to some of the organizations on campus. WRPI is one, an a cappella group was another, and two to students, student groups. They're called ambassadors, and they go to high schools and grammar schools in the Troy area to tell the students the advantages and the joy of participating and being a student at a technological university like our dear RPI. So when I got an email from my friend Sarah Linehan at the alumni office saying she wanted me to tell everyone why I volunteer for Rensselaer. And I thought that's the silliest question I've ever heard, because I don't volunteer. This is part of my family. I've been hanging around this joint for 70 years. I came to watch football games when I was 12 years old. I finally graduated in January '61, and it was not a happy day. But the Institute kicked me out because I passed all the courses. I resented them ever since, but 3 years later, I was back getting a degree, another degree. Why am I here? Why do I participate? Who knows? I just love the joint. I love being here. I love every part of it. Lucky to be here. It's a joy to be here. And it is a very lively place. The people are lovely. And I invite any of you who wish to come to a 50-year club meeting, just send me an email and you can come. We have cold cuts. We have nice food. Thanks to Sarah Linehan, who arranges everything. We'll have a speaker. And you get to meet some of the best people in the world. The staff are kind and generous, and the students are great fun to be with. So I have just one more pitch. I'm almost 87 years old, and I don't give advice. I don't give advice to students. I don't give advice to anybody. No one should listen to advice of an 80-year-old. All I do is give money. I think that's more important. Our students now, because of a lot of reasons, and I'm an economist and I could explain all of those to you if you wish, they have a difficult time. The cost of college is very high. Okay, you can say they get good jobs afterwards. I get it, but it still remains a very big price to pay. The median income of our students hasn't increased that much. So they're trying to piece together packages that will get them through 4 years. And plain fact, our students need us. We old timers have had a great life thanks to Rensselaer, and of course, thanks to us. So our students need us, need us. And we have the obligation, I believe, to support them. I am a big advocate of that. I've been giving to Rensselaer for many, many years. I will continue to give to Rensselaer. I will continue to be here as often as I can. I love hanging around here. The place enlivens me, invigorates me. I feel like I'm all of a sudden smarter. I'm not taller, but I'm smarter. And when I'm here, and how lucky have I been? A little guy from Amsterdam, New York, to be here. So thank you. And I'm going to turn you over to Drew. Drew's the guy that knows everything about how to transfer assets. And he knows a lot more about it. I know how to gather assets. I've been successful at that. And I'm in the business, I'm an economist. So I've been explaining money to people, including Rensselaer students. Last January, on a freezing ass cold day in January, it was like 3 degrees below zero. 20 some or 30 some students were there. What fun. I was talking to them about financial assets, how to acquire them and whatever. I got an interesting question from one of the students. I'll just relay it. This young man said, "What do you do if the stock market goes down?" And I said, "If you're 22, you go to the gym, have some fun, take a run, go to the park, meditate, have a beer with your buds. If you're 55, re-examine your portfolio." See how easy it is to answer these questions? Anyway, I've been in the business of teaching and talking about money and demystifying it. And that's been my goal. So we're lucky. I am very lucky, and I'm passing this luck on, I hope, to everyone. And Drew is here to second guess me and tell everybody how to transfer assets.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks, Corinne, and welcome all the attendees, and we're thrilled you're here to join us today. I'm Drew Babbitts. I'm the Director of Gift Planning at RPI, and I'm happy to share a little bit about what I know with you all, and hopefully it helps you make tax-smart giving decisions. Let me see if I can. Our discussion will focus mostly on how you can utilize plan giving strategies to make a larger philanthropic impact at RPI. We hope you'll leave our discussion with a more robust understanding of techniques and strategies to make charitable gifts that help propel both our mission forward at RPI and help accomplish your charitable goals and may reduce your taxes as well. So oftentimes when we think about charitable giving, we consider only gifts of cash or maybe through a credit card, through an online system. And so today we're going to focus on maybe 5 other types of charitable gifts you can make besides cash that will allow you to make a larger impact and reduce your taxes. They are qualified charitable distributions, bequests, appreciated assets, life income gifts, and beneficiary designations. I'll touch on gifts of cash briefly, although simple and easy, and we readily accept them here at RPI. They sometimes cost you as the donor the most money, and they're often the least tax efficient way which you can make a charitable impact. So a rapidly increasing strategy for donors over 70 is leveraging what we call a qualified charitable distribution, or a QCD. This allows you to give up to $108,000 per year to one or more charities directly from your IRA. The benefits of this include reducing your taxable income. It fulfills your required minimum distribution if you're over 73. And it makes a great impact for RPI students now. We also have a really user-friendly website, plangiving.rpi.edu/QCD, which outlines a lot more information on the benefits of QCDs and how to make a QCD to RPI. So I'm often asked, how does this exactly work? So you contact there are kind of 2 ways. You contact your IRA custodian and request a QCD distribution form. You can also visit our website. at plangiving.rpi.edu/QCD, and we have a variety of forms from all the major brokers which you could download. We also have a letter, if your broker isn't there, that you could send to your custodian broker to request a QCD be sent directly to RPI. I always suggest that you do this by December 1st of the year that you'd like to make the gift. Oftentimes the major custodians get sort of backed up towards the end of December with a lot of requests, and occasionally they might miss one to process. You'll probably need our tax ID number, which is listed here, as well as our official mailing address for our gift processing center, which we've also included. So making a bequest is also one of the easiest and simplest charitable gifts you can make. It doesn't cost you anything now, and it can be changed at any time if your circumstances need to be adjusted. So here's a basic outline of how it works. You include RPI in your will or trust. After your life, the assets pass to RPI, and then the rest of your estate distributes to your family and heirs. Again, it's flexible. It can be changed at any time. And we have some sample language on our gift planning website that you can share with your lawyer about how to actually, with language on sort of how to structure this kind of gift. So I'm often asked, like, how does this actually work once, I pass and the RPI gets this money, and how does it actually work? So I wanted to kind of share a brief example, and I've changed the names to protect the innocent. So here we have John Q. alum who wishes to establish a named endowed scholarship for students in financial need through his will. So the first step he does is he contacts the Office of Gift Planning and creates an endowed scholarship agreement for RPI to keep on file. This really ensures that we can follow Jean's wishes and that we have a governing document for this fund. The minimum to establish a named endowed scholarship is $100,000. And John, through his planning, estimates that his percentage to RPI will be about $100,000. But in case it's not, we include some language in his agreement that should the gift be below $100,000, his gift will be allocated to the general RPI scholarship pool, which we give to students annually. After he does that, he contacts his lawyer and puts the following language in his will, which directs 10% of his residual estate to the Mary and John Q. Alum 57 Endowed Scholarship Fund. And we have already created that governing document for that fund. So after John's life, his executor directs his bequest to RPI, and the Endowed Scholarship Fund is formally established. And each year, his children receive yearly reports on students that benefit from John and Mary's generosity, because this gift is to the RPI endowment and it will last in perpetuity, and it will benefit generations of RPI students to come. So I wanted to touch briefly on sort of how the endowment works at RPI and why it's important and the type of impact you could have and how those gifts work when they're added to the endowment. So the RPI endowment is a permanent fund which your donation is invested in. It grows over time, so the future generations, can benefit from those gifts. Your fund is managed as part of the large Rensselaer endowment, which holds hundreds of individual established endowed funds, as well as some university funds for the benefit of the institution. Our donor impact team here in Institute Advancement has an amazing website, giving.rpi.edu/donor impact, that really highlights more facts about our endowment, its growth, its trajectory, and the type of impact that it has on our community. And I invite you all to kind of take a look at that, and happy to answer any questions if you have any. We have some minimums for our endowments, for our endowed funds that are created either during your life or testamentary. This is only a sampling of the opportunities, but these are some of the most common. Senior professorships, career development professorships, graduate fellowships, restricted undergraduate scholarships. Those are scholarships that are for a particular school or a student from a particular state. Unrestricted undergraduate scholarships is $100,000. That's just a scholarship for any student in financial need that our financial aid office determines. And then some department prize funds. Again, we have lots of options, but these are some of the most common that our alums like to establish either during their life or through a testamentary gift. So Walter Irving, class of 1896, his bequest gift might illustrate the best example I can see at RPI of the impact of legacy giving. So Walter was a mechanical engineering major here at RPI, and he endowed the scholarship both through his lifetime and his will. He was the founder of Irving Subway Grading. And if you take a spin around Manhattan and you're walking on the sidewalks, you'll probably go over some metal grating, and that's Irving Subway Grading. It's still used today. So he gave, about during his lifetime and through his will, about a little less than $150,000 to RPI to establish a scholarship fund for students in financial need, as he was when he was at RPI. So that scholarship today at RPI still exists because it's through our endowment program. We only spend a portion of the interest. So the book value, or the original value of his gift, was $149,000. Through the laws of compounding interest and growth, the market value as of June 2024 was over $2.3 million. And it distributed about $95,000 in 2024 for student scholarships. That's approaching, I think it's pretty amazing because it approaches the amount of almost of his original gift to RPI. And I think we have over 250 students have benefited from his generosity over the years. And that will continue to actually increase as the scholarship goes up in value. So this is just a great example of the impact of both a current gift and a legacy gift can have for generations of RPI students and the type of kids it helps. So appreciated assets also make excellent charitable gifts, both during your life or through a legacy gift. These could include stocks, bonds, real estate, paid up life insurance policies, or other assets that have significantly low cost basis that you might incur significant taxes if you just cash them out. So like charitable gift annuities, I think are a great example. I call them the gift that pays you. They provide you fixed payments for life in exchange for a gift. So how it works is you transfer cash, assets, or other appreciated property to RPI, and then you receive a lifetime income based on those gifts. And after your life, whatever remains in the annuity comes to RPI. It can be funded in a variety of different through cash or stocks, real estate, or other means. And then it can really make a lasting impact once after your life. So I want to share an example of how it typically works. So here we have John Q. alum who might own 1,000 shares of Apple stock, and he bought them very smartly 25, 30 years ago, has a low cost basis, and maybe they're worth $200,000 today. John really wishes to support the electrical, computer, and systems engineering department, but is concerned about cashing the stocks out and some of the capital gains taxes that he would owe, and at some point maybe needing income from those securities through dividends or just straight up cashing them out. So what he decides to do is give the stock directly to RPI in exchange for a lifetime of fixed payments through a gift annuity. So John receives an upfront tax deduction of $86,000, and he receives an annual payout rate of 7.6%. That's based on his age, or $15,200 per year. Sorry, I'll answer questions at the end. I'm just kidding. And as part of the income tax is free to him each year. Then after John's life, the annuity will be directed to support the ECSC department. And we estimate usually about 50% remains in the annuity after your life, depending on your life expectancy and how long you live. But we do a lot of these gifts at RPI. They make a big difference. And it's a great way to turn an asset that's maybe not producing much income, like securities that aren't giving much dividends, or old paid up life insurance policy, or piece of real estate that's costing you a lot of money. You can give it to us to fund one of these and receive some income back. Beneficiary designation, like a bequest, costs you nothing now and can make an impact for students for generations to follow. You don't need to update your will to make it this change. And as an added bonus, if you make RPI the beneficiary of your IRA or retirement account, those gifts pass tax-free to RPI because we're a 501c3 qualified nonprofit. If you were to name a spouse or sorry, not a spouse, a non-spousal heir or your child as a beneficiary of the IRA, they would owe a significant portion of taxes on an IRA, and there's lots of variety of rules about how they have to take that income. It's a great gift to give to RPI or a nonprofit. Again, here's how it works: costs you nothing now, can reduce or eliminate taxes, and also avoids probate fees on those assets. And it can create a really meaningful legacy here at RPI. This is just a little primer on how to change a beneficiary designation. You log into your account or request a beneficiary change from your custodian, whoever that is, Schwab, Fidelity, TIAA-CREF, and then they'll tell you how to change that beneficiary form, and you'll probably need our tax identification number, and then our address as well, which is on our website, giveplanning.edu, rpi.giveplanning.edu. And you can call, and then following that, please contact the Office of Gift Planning to ensure that we can thank you properly for your gift, and make sure that that gift is used in the way that you want for RPI. So when you're ready to include RPI and make a legacy gift, the Office of Gift Planning has a simple form for you to kind of document your intentions and ensure that we use your gift in the way that you want us to, whether that's for scholarships or impact your favorite department, remember your favorite professor, or make an impact on the union, whatever it might be at RPI. If you've already included the gift to RPI, if you're on this webinar, please let us know, and we'll be happy to share this form with you for you to complete and go over any other questions you have about your legacy gift. I wanted to share a couple of brief stories with you about some of our legacy donors. Here we have Richard Felak. Rich is a longtime RPI benefactor and champion, I think, of RPI. He went into electric power engineering, inspired by President Johnson. After he had experienced a blackout while he was at RPI in the late 60s. He went on to have a successful career at GE, and he was really propelled from the scholarship he received to RPI. And he gives back really to empower future engineers to change the world just like he has done. Rich and Joan have established a Dean's Faculty Fellowship to support professors in electric power engineering, and they've also made a provision in their will to support that as well. And here we have Glenn Brown, class of 54, who is, I would say, one of the ultimate champions of RPI. He's the past president of our alumni association. He's built connections to hundreds of alums throughout his tenure, and he's really distinguished himself through his service and his philanthropy to RPI. And he continues to really inspire us and be engaged on a variety of levels here at RPI. And Glenn shared a bit of his story on a video recently, so I wanted to share that with you all to play that. So to wrap up, here's my contact information and my email. We'll share this slide deck. You can hear Glenn's story, and there's our website address, which has a variety of helpful tips about how to make these kind of gifts. And again, we're happy to help. And I did see a few questions pop up, and I'm happy to. I can
kickstart us, yeah. So one question is if we could return back to page 15 for the cost of various funds like professorships.
Sorry. So professorships start at 1.5 million is an endowed professorship. There's some other levels in between there that I didn't put in here just for space. And then they top out at a senior professor at about 4 million. Senior professor needs to come with some research grants and some startup funding. That's why it's so much more expensive. And that's really recruiting a leader in their field. That's going to make an impact on a significant area that's important to RPI. Does that answer your question, Corinne?
Yes. I think that was the only question that we had. So great job, Drew. We are so happy that you agreed to do this for us. And also too, as well, thank you so much, Bill. We really appreciated your time today. Thank you so much. So again, it was recorded and it will be sent in the June alumni newsletter. So if you would like to reference any of the material that Bill or Drew reviewed today, be on the lookout for that as well. Also, just wanted to reiterate, if you are interested in the 50-year club, please just give Bill an email and following this webinar, you will receive his email contact information. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much. All right, Drew, bye.
Bye.
Bravo, Corinne, thank you, and John.